All right, what is up, family? Goofy Rexy here, and hope everybody is doing well. So welcome to the Week 7 recap of the Beginner Series here, our Assemble series, and a lot of good stuff happened this week. A lot of good stuff happened this week in terms of leveling. Not much increase. I think last week we were at level 52, right? So far right now, we are at level 55, which is a very important level for us on this beginner account here. And the reason why level 55 give us the opportunity here for us to unlock the ISO campaign. And for me personally, that is a very, very, very good thing, you know, because ISOs are going to be helpful for us to be able to finish off some of this campaign stuff that we're doing here. But let's first talk about where we are in terms of arena, right? That's where we always like to start off. So arena right now hasn't really changed much. We're about 1,012 right now, but I do find that the matchups are a lot easier. And the reason why they're so much easier is because we finally have unlocked Black Widow. You guys know I've been waiting to unlock Black Widow since day one. We thought that we were going to be able to get her, you know, through the Road to Iron Man calendar, but realized that we had to log in at a special time in order for that to be the case. So now, right now, where we are, we finally unlocked Black Widow. 100 shard unlock, guys. So just keep that in mind. Black Widow's 100 shard unlock. She is in Villains 1-9. That's where you can farm her. But we have a full Wave 1 Avengers team here with Thor. Right now, as it stands, this is kind of where our Wave 1 Avengers team is, you know, in terms of power level. We got to recruit Merc Riot Guard, but in terms of power level, this is where, or the characters themselves, this is where they are right now. So we have Black Widow at 50 in gear tier 8, 54 gear tier 8, 54 and 9 for Thor. Hawkeye also at 8, and Hulk right now we have at gear tier 7. So we're gonna be building this team up. Ideally next week I would like to be able to have them at level 55 and gear tier 9. I think that that's gonna be where we're gonna need to have them to be able to do some substantial content, you know, in arena, and then also be able to finish off that Nexus campaign as well, including also doing our raid. So we're doing Ultimates 5 right now on the baby account. So we're definitely going to need to kind of put some more investment, you know, into this team. We've also made some minor changes when it comes to our Blitz Store again. So previously, before, as I mentioned, we talked about how we were farming, you know, Rhino, right? We were hard farming Rhino because we weren't really getting a lot of shards for him. But now I'm in a position where I already have him at 4 stars, which happened very quickly, right? It was at 2 stars probably about 2 weeks ago. Now we have him at 4 stars once we started target farming him. So we're going to kind of start going back to opening up orbs again, because while we are getting good currency from, you know, with these Blitz credits because of the beginner Blitz shard that we're in, I do want to still try to land some of these other characters. Electro is here, so give me more of an opportunity to land some shards, you know, for Electro, and then also being able to land some shards for some of these other characters. Ant-Man is important, right? You know, we have, you know, some other minion characters, you know, like maybe Kree Royal Guard. I know not great, but it does give me an opportunity for me to do a lot. Nick Fury, which I think is still somewhat important, you know, because Nick Fury, from a free-to-play perspective, right? From a free-to-play beginner perspective, if I am able to get him, you know, he's actually going to provide some value here for my roster. So I think just being able to land some of these other characters, not mainly minions, but some of these other characters like your Toad, you know, Strife maybe, Thing, you know, Miles, like some of these other characters I think are very good for me to be able to get because they're going to be usable or useful on my roster. But mainly, ideally, you know, Electro. And then also remember, Domino is an exclusive Blitz orb only. So, you know, opening up orbs has given me an opportunity here to be able to land, you know, some of these Domino shards. So yeah, 28 shards so far by opening up some of these Blitz orbs. So that's pretty good in my opinion. She's a character that I'm going to need for that X-Force team, the mighty X-Force team that I'm going to be able to use on War Offense later. So that's going to be pretty important later. But more importantly, being able to unlock a legendary in Doc Ock. So Domino, for me, definitely very important. And going Blitz Orbs, I think, is a better way now that we've gotten some shards for Rhino. And I know you're probably saying, well, target farming is going to get you, be able to get you these, you know, legendaries quicker, right? You're going to want to get Shuri, but the thing about it is we don't really know what the schedule is right now. So I feel like the best bet, the best way to go is just to open up these orbs, get these multiple shards, you know, that you're going to be able to need, that you're going to want to use later, right? For those other legendary characters and to be able to be used on your roster. So I feel like going with the Blitz orbs is a good way to go. For raids, we're definitely still opening up some orbs here because we're just not getting enough raid credits. You know, I think for the most part, like maybe every day or every other day or so is when I'm going to be able to open up even some raid orbs. Now, we are in a new raid season, so I've been getting the raid milestones have been helping with being able to open up some of these orbs because we're getting the raid orb fragments as well. But, still kind of not at a place where we can even target farm. And I'm not sure I'm ever going to want to target farm characters here because of the 1,400, raid credits that I have to use in order to be able to get there. I just don't think it is really... It's a lot of raid credits at this point and this juncture in the game. Not like my main account where I have thousands of them, right? With the baby account here, we still got to kind of be smart about that. For our arena store farm, which look at this, I haven't even farmed Swarm yet, so let's farm Swarm now. Still farming Swarm here, very close to being able to get him to 5 stars. Once I'm done in the arena store with Swarm, I'm gonna be moving to either Juggernaut or Blob, because next, if you remember our farming guide, the next character, the next legendary that we're gonna want to go after is going to be, Magneto. I think Magneto is going to be a very important character, BH 2.0, from a free-to-play perspective. I did make a free-to-play video as well, so I'll link that up here too for you guys to take a look at that. But free-to-play teams that I think are very good for early to mid-game, and I think BH 2.0 is one of those teams that can be helpful in a lot of different areas. Also will give me my first solid war team. And while war is not incredibly important for an early beginner player, or more so important as you get to the mid-game point, it's good to be able to have a team like that that's ready and available, also because they can be helpful in some of those Greek raids as well, because they're global, they have the global tag, and they also do, they're all in gamma raids, you have to use Brotherhood or Shield characters. So once again, that's why Nick Fury, I think, is going to be good too, at least as a useful character, and then also, Magneto BH 2.0 team as well. For our war store, still looking to get Minerva. I think we're about 5 shards away from unlocking her. She's going to be more viable for my raids. If I don't see any of those characters, there's some other secondary characters that I think are pretty good, to be able to get from the war store here. Mr. Sinister obviously is one. Sif is the main character here too that I am farming from the store. So whenever I see characters like that, Sif, Mr. Sinister, Minerva, I'm always looking to farm those characters. Ghost, I don't need because of the Reminex Shake It calendar. I'm getting, I got enough shards to be able to unlock Ghost. So we are pretty good there as far as I am concerned. So 100 shards, and for that ISO campaign, which we're going to talk about in a little bit, she's actually been very good for me with that ISO campaign. Very, very useful kit. So for a lot of people who say, Ghost is not that great outside of Dark Dimension, I found it to be rather useful on my baby account right now. She's doing pretty good, where that's concerned. And then the raid store, we're not really doing anything here. Like I said last week, every now and again, we'll drop, maybe we'll buy 1 star. I mean, I guess I could buy this one for Hulk here. Maybe I'll consider it, but I'm just buying 1 star and then opening up the red star orbs when I get them. Don't do this. I did this earlier before in my previous career on my main account. I would open up these silver promotion credits, man. And I would actually convert these silver promotion credits here, which would just give me like 5, promotion credits. Not worth doing it. Definitely best to just open up these elites. I don't need an elite orb, red star orb right now. I don't really have any characters that are even at 4 stars. I don't even have any characters that are at 4 gold stars. So it really makes no sense for me to even open up this elite 4 orb right now. So I'm going to wait. I know you guys might be saying, well, what if you get White Tiger at 4 stars? White Tiger is so far away from me on this account. It's free to play. I probably won't even be able to do the event effectively based on me only playing this account for 49 days. I might not even unlock White Tiger. So for me, not even really worth it in my opinion. So I'm kind of gonna hold off on that red star, that elite 4-star orb until future, when I feel like I really need it. And yes, we have the ISO store here, so we can start opening up these ISO orbs. And seeing some of what we get for some of these basics. So yeah, we got Blaster, we got Protector, we got another Protector here. So we're gonna need these Protector ISOs. You want to put the healer ISOs on Hulk and on Cap. So that's pretty important. Now for campaign progression, we're gonna talk about ISO, the ISO campaign here. Heroes we were already done with, right? Up until chapter 6, we were done. When it comes to villains, we are still struggling a little bit. We were able to get all the way up to villain 6-9. We got obliterated with our Sinister 6 team. They need a lot more investment in order for us to be able to get through this. So that's why ISOs are going to be pretty important, because I think that's going to be the deciding factor in us being able to 3-star a lot of these nodes here. You know, there's some pretty important gear that I think we're going to need. Eventually, we're going to need some of these metabolic enhancers. You know, we're going to need probably these catalysts too at some point, right? So pretty important to be able to 3-star some of these nodes at some point in time. Some of these are not crazy important. It's more so maybe the character nodes that are going to be important. And look at this right here. We got BioGear. BioGear right now is a bottleneck for me on the baby account. So gonna need the 3-star this node so we can start farming some more BioGear. And yes, Nobu. We're gonna need Nobu because we gotta farm and get Phoenix, right? So, you know, getting Nobu is gonna be incredibly important, you know, as well on this roster. But that's where we are. Nexus campaign is going to be another campaign that we're going to try to muscle through here as well. We have the team ready for it, you know, now that we have a full Wave 1 Avengers team. So we should be able to get through that also as well. Cosmic still holding off on that a little bit. It's important, but it's not priority yet. We're kind of taking things a little slow where that's concerned. We can only do one thing at a time, right? So, you know, we're focusing on Nexus. We're going to try to work on villains once we can get some ISOs on some of our Sinister Six characters here. But for the ISO campaign, we are done with all of Chapter 1. We do have to go back and 3-star this. So this is the one blemish on the Chapter 1 here is that we have not 3-starred this node yet, but we've 3-starred everything else. And like I said, man, Ghost we're using right now. We can't use Thor because Thor is not a global character. So, you know, you have to use global characters here for the ISO campaign. But we have been able to use everyone else on the Wave 1 Avengers team with respect to Iron Man because we don't have Iron Man, right? So we have Hawkeye, we have everybody else. Hawkeye, Captain America, Hulk, you know, who am I forgetting? Black Widow, who we just got. And then also we're using Ghost right now. Ghost has definitely been phenomenal. Speed bar, you know, reduction. You know, also taking that, you know, it's not 15%, it's only 10% with the ultimate because the ultimate's not T4, but 10% with that, you know, and then do some additional damage, you know, with that ultimate ability has definitely been helpful for me, you know, getting through these ISO campaigns. It doesn't look as challenging. Here, you know, on the ISO, on the second chapter of the ISO campaign right now. So, you know, we might be able to get through this one pretty easily too. I'm looking at some of the comps. I think we're going to be able to do well with some of the comps here. So yeah, I think we're going to be good. We're probably going to be able to finish this up by the end of tomorrow. So by the end of tomorrow, so when you see this video, which we're recording this midweek. So when you see this video on Saturday, we're most likely going to be done with the ISO campaign. So, you know, we'll talk about that a little bit more as we move into next week. Raids are still the same. And I guess I should talk about this too. In terms of ISOs, where am I going with the Wave 1 Avengers on the ISOs? So far, I put Stryker on Black Widow. I put Skirmisher on Hawkeye. I'm going to be putting Healer on Cap and Healer on Hulk. And then Thor, I'm thinking between maybe Raider or Stryker. Not quite sure which one I want. I might want to take advantage of the vulnerables. So I might put Stryker on him. But Black Widow does have Stryker as well. You know, so we'll figure that one out a little bit. We're only going to put level 1 on it. So level 1, we can change it without having to spend any sort of cost, you know, once we get to level 1. So we're going to play around with it, see if Raider works or see if Stryker works better for us. But listen, this is where we are right now with this account. A lot more things to do. I'm excited about it. There's a lot more content to do on this account here. We're doing well as far as our Blitz is concerned. We have not opened up our Purple Catalyst Orb. That's why you see 52 right there. But this is where we're at right now, right? We are at 145 in terms of power level, 145,000 in terms of power level here. Doing very well. But there's a lot of good progression this week. Looking to progress a little bit more. Obviously, next week, you know, levels are going to be slower to come by, you know, on this account now. But, you know, like I said, I'm glad that we were able to get to the ISO campaign. Glad that we're going to be able to farm some ISOs here. You know, excited about that and being able to put some ISOs on the Wave 1 Avengers team. And then, of course, later on our Sinister Six team as well. But listen, guys, if you have any questions about anything, you know, feel free to leave it in the comments. Also, if you have not subscribed to the channel as well, guys, make sure that you hit the subscribe button. Also, the notification bell so that you will know when my videos do go live as well. Also, check the links down below. My Discord, Twitch. I stream this beginner account every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So come check me out there as well so you can ask questions, you know, live. I have questions live with me. But appreciate you guys so much. Y'all be blessed and y'all be safe.